Good morning to everyone. In the last class, I was started the topic that is schedules. The schedules to the Act. So, under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, some schedules are framed for the proper achievement of the objectives of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. So, in that schedules, we know that we have different types of the schedules. Schedules starting from A to Y, like the different classes of the schedules are given. So, among all these schedules, previously we discussed about the Schedule A, B is also over, C, C1, Schedule D, D1, Schedule D2, E, F. In this F again, subclasses are there like F1, F2, F3, FF. Now, this is Schedule G. So, from Schedule A to F already finished. Now, we will discuss about the Schedule G. So, if you see the Schedule G here, it contains list of substances required to be used under medical supervision only. List of substances which are used under medical supervision. Underline this word, medical supervision, and labeled accordingly. So, the drugs which are comes under this Schedule G, such type of drugs we can use, but we can use only under the medical supervision only. For example, if some diabetic patient, so depends on the sugar levels in the body, it will be changes, some due to taking food or some other metabolic reactions, maybe the sugar levels will be either increased or decreased in the diabetic patient. So when it is increases or decreases, as our wish, we don't have a right to take the anti-diabetic drugs. So first of all, if there is any changes in our body, in the sugar levels of our body, then we have to approach the concerned doctor, and after suggesting by the doctor only. So with the medical supervision, that is nothing but under medical supervision. So the doctor should suggest a particular medication to the patient. Then under the medical supervision, with the help of the prescription, we can get the medicine from the pharmacy, and the drugs should be labeled accordingly. And also drugs which are comes under this Schedule G, that must be contains a label, that is a caution should be presented. The caution is nothing but it is dangerous to take this preparation except under medical supervision, and conspicuously printed and surrounded by a line within which there shall be no other words. So if you see the label of this Schedule G drugs, the back side of the dosage form, we can see the label. So that label contains various different types of the information like product name, various ingredients and their strengths, and some other cautions to be must and should be followed by the consumer. So in that caution, what we should write? The caution is nothing but it is dangerous to take this preparation except under medical supervision. So without suggestion by the doctor, if you are using that medication, it may be leads to serious consequences in the patient. So what are the drugs which are comes under Schedule G means number of drugs like anti-diabetic drugs will come, and also anti-hypertensive drugs. So if there is any change in the blood pressure of some patient, the patient don't have right to change the drugs for the particular level of the hypertension. Means if it is increases, we can take some other extra medicine, or if it is decreases, we can change the power of the medicine. Like that we don't have a right. So the patient must approach the physician or the doctor, and then after consulting the doctor, by the suggestions of the doctor only, we should change our medication. So that is nothing but under the medical supervision only. And after that, next one is Schedule H. So what it contains? List of substances, prescriptions that should be sold by retail only on prescriptions of RMP only. Prescription of the RMP. Previous one is the Schedule G. There the drugs must be used with the suggestion of the doctor. Now these are the drugs which can be obtained from the pharmacy only upon the registered medical practitioner prescription only. So some of the drugs like antibiotics. If you want to use antibiotic for a particular infection, first we should approach the doctor, then the doctor will prescribe some medication by prescription only. So these drugs we can also call prescription drugs. Prescription drugs. Why? Because these type of drugs we can't get from the pharmacy without the medical prescription. Without the medical prescription, if you generally go to the pharmacy and if you are asking some antibiotic, the pharmacist never give to you. Why? Because those antibiotics must be sold only upon submitting that prescription only. That prescription must be written by registered medical practitioner, not a common people. Generally some person or some experienced person like that, they don't have a right to write the prescription. Only the person who is already registered medical practitioner. Okay, so such person will give the prescription, and upon submitting the prescription only we can get the drugs from the pharmacy. That is nothing but Schedule H drugs. So here also the Schedule H drugs should contain some labeling requirements. They are labeled with the symbol RX and conspicuously displayed on the left top corner of the label. Generally if you see any label, we can see that a symbol RX will be present. RX. This RX symbol will be present. Where it will be present? Displayed on the left top corner of the label. For example, this is a prescription. In this prescription, on the left top corner we can present the word that is RX. That is a symbol. Okay. After that RX we can write the prescription like this. Nothing but drugs we can, the list of drugs we can write here, but the word RX is mandatory on the left top corner of the prescription for the particularly for Schedule H drugs. And labeled with following words. What are the words? To be sold by retail on the prescription of a registered medical practitioner only. To be sold by retail on the prescription of a registered medical practitioner only. Here for the using of the drugs we don't have any conditions, but for the sale of the drugs, sale, so these conditions are must be followed by the pharmacists who are present in the retail stores or retail pharmacy stores. So when they are sell some antibiotic drugs, Schedule H drugs, so he must and should observe that prescription, whether the prescription was presented by registered medical practitioner or not. That one he should observe. If it is presented by the RMP, then okay, he can sold that medication to the patient. So this is about the Schedule H drugs. And next one is Schedule J. Schedule J means here we can see that different types of the diseases. Can you see the diseases? AIDS, angina pectoris, diabetes, cancer, blindness, deafness, fairness of the skin, improvement in height of the children or adults, and obesity, etc. Actually here some of the diseases only given, but number of diseases and disorders of the body comes under the Schedule J. What is Schedule J means? Diseases and ailments which have a drug may not be purport to prevent or cure or make claims to prevent or cure. Diseases under this schedule are okay. So these are the various conditions of the body. For example, deafness. If the person is having deafness or complete blindness, then there is no medication for that one. That is the naturally occurring defect to the human body. So upon taking the medication, we can't get any cure from the deafness. In the same way, blindness. If a person is blind from the birth itself, so that upon taking some medication, he should not get the relief from that blindness. That is a permanent disorder to the or permanent defect, birth defect to the particular person. In the same way, improvement in height of children or adults. Generally, we used to see different types of advertisements which are related to altering our body appearance, like fairness of the skin, or altering the appearance means particular shape we will given to your body, like decreasing of the fat in our body, or we can make you to increase your height, like that. Some conditions, nothing but alterations in the body measurements. This is also not possible by the medication. If it is possible, maybe by the exercises or some other things, but not by the medication. So, drugs which cannot be prevent or which cannot be cure a particular type of the conditions, disorders and diseases of the patient. So, those types of the diseases which cannot be cured by medication will be categorized under Schedule J. Understood? Some of the diseases like AIDS, angina pectoris, and some of the conditions of the human body like blindness and deafness, not the conditions, they are the birth defects. So these types of disorders we cannot manipulate, we cannot prevent or cure. We cannot prevent or cure. Yeah. So these are the various conditions and disorders of the people. These conditions we can't change by taking the medication. So such type of conditions and disorders and diseases are categorized under Schedule J. Next one is Schedule K. Yeah. What are the drugs which comes under Schedule K? Nothing but drugs, substances which are used both as articles, food articles, and also substances which can be used both as articles of food as well as drugs. For example, turmeric is there. Turmeric can be used in the food item, and also we can use that turmeric in the medicinal purpose like some antibiotic value. In the same way, some other drugs like common medications, paracetamol, aspirin, normal pain balms we are using, different types of the pain balms we are using. Nothing but to get relief from the pain, different balms and gels we are using. Those are called analgesic balms, and gripe water mostly used for the children like infants we are using to get relief from some stomach pain, like that. So these are no need to get from these types of the drugs we can get from the pharmacy without any prescription, and also these types of the drugs don't have any precautions. Cautions are not be presented on the label of these packings we can observe. For example, previously in the Schedule J or Schedule H, some particular cautions should be presented on the labeling of the product, but in these cases we cannot observe any of such type of cautions on its labeling. Simply we can get from the pharmacy, no need of any presenting the prescriptions. And also some other drugs like anti-malarial drugs and drugs supplied by RMP to his own patient, and drugs supplied by hospital or government or local bodies. For example, during the season of rainy season, sometimes in the rainy seasons there may be increasing the diseases like typhoid or continuous diarrhea or malaria, some types of easily spreading diseases through the contamination of the food and water. So in such seasons, generally nearer to that public healthcare centers or CMCs, what they will do, or urban health centers, what they will do means they just reaches to the nearer people and they will distribute some medications to them, like they are not for the prevention, not for the cure, just for the prevention of spreading of the diseases like malaria and also other diseases like typhoid and some other waterborne and foodborne diseases. Mostly these diseases will occur during the rainy season only. So in that season only the government bodies means nothing but nearer public healthcare centers or the CMCs, they will go to the rural areas of the people and they will distribute the medications behalf of the government only. So those drugs can be given to the patient without any prescription. Okay, why? Because they are already supplied from the government side only, so no need of any prescription. And when they are distributing to the people, they will suggest that proper precautions to the people, how to take that medication, means what will be the route of administration and how many times we have to take the medication, 2 times, 3 times, and before the meals or after the meals. What are the required conditions? Those conditions are already mentioned by the people who distributed to the particular persons, and in such case those medications are also comes under the Schedule K only, and other drugs and substances which can be used both in the case of foods and also in the form of drugs like turmeric and also some other common medications like aspirin and paracetamol. For these drugs also no need to present any of the prescription and no need to approach the doctor, just for the just we can simply go to the pharmacy and we can get the medication from the pharmacy store. So these types of substances or drugs which are categorized under Schedule K. And next one is Schedule M. If you see this Schedule M, it is mostly about the GMP requirements. GMP requirements. What is meant by GMP requirements? GMP. G means good. GMP requirement. Good manufacturing practices. GMP means nothing but good manufacturing practices. Manufacturing means nothing but manufacturing, preparation of the drugs, drug products, any of the dosage forms, pharmaceutical dosage forms. So in the manufacturing of the drugs and drug products, what are the provisions to be followed by the manufacturer in the laboratory? All comes under GMP only. That is nothing but GMP requirements, which is comes under the Schedule M. The Schedule M contains good manufacturing practices. Here, not only the provisions will be given not only for the manufacturer and also all the requirements. For example, if you entered into the manufacturing area, what will be the environment of that area, how will be the texture, what will be its appearance, window system, ventilation system, drainage system, and equipment area, and warehousing area, production area, testing area, or finished goods store. We can see different areas, we can observe different areas within one laboratory or within one manufacturing industry. So all these parts of the place we can observe there. If you go to the next one, we can understand that point. Yeah. Warehousing area, can you see the first one? The first one is warehousing area, next one production area, ancillary area, quality control area, manufacturing operation, documentation and record. We can see different parts. If you are observing about the preparation or manufacturing of a dosage form, for example tablet. If you consider that tablet, number of unit operations will be involved in the preparation of the tablet. Different types of steps we are using. Finally, we can get the doses from. First one, collection of all the ingredients, required ingredients in the required amounts. After that, the required amounts will be taken for the mixing. First, before the mixing, we are going for the size reduction for the to get the uniform size of all the ingredients. After that, mixing. After that, granulation. After that, addition of lubricants and glidants. Meanwhile, sieving, drying. So, number of unit operations will together we can prepare a product. So, in the manufacturing area, these steps, when they are carried out all these procedures, there should be a required space in between each and every unit operation. So the drying will be carried out in a particular place, the production will be carried out in a particular area, and that production area must be separated from the quality control area. Quality control area means nothing but where the in-process quality control tests are carried out. For example, when you are taking some drug and excipients in the preparation of a dosage form. So, before going for preparation, first of all, the ingredients will be tested whether they are pure or not. So, for its purity and quality, we will do some chemical tests. After the analysis only, if they are qualified, if they are passed, then we can choose that particular ingredients for the preparation of the dosage form. So, first, previously, if you are coming to the pharmaceutical industry, warehousing area will be there. Warehouse area means nothing but designs allow sufficient and orderly warehousing of various categories of materials and products. So, materials and product means in the preparation of a dosage form, we are using number of excipients and also along with API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. So, where all these substances will be stored, that is nothing but warehousing area. Warehouse means that is the place where we can keep all the materials which are required for the preparation of a particular dosage form. So how we will store, how we will keep all these ingredients according to some order. For example, alphabetical order or numerical order, some order of arrangement the people should follow. Some in charge will be there in every area of the manufacturing industry. So that in charge will carry out all the arrangement of that materials inside the warehouse. And next one is production area. Production area means area shall be designed to allow the production preferably in uniflow with logical sequence of operation and avoiding the risk of cross contamination. So I said to you that if you take the procedure of a manufacturing of a particular dosage form, we have to follow number of procedures. Step by step procedure will be there. So when you are carrying out the steps of procedure, there should be a particular space, manual labor, and some gap should be there. What is the need of that gap and space? Because of to avoid the risk of cross contamination. For example, granulation we are doing, that granulation will be separately we should takes place, and after that that one will be taken for the drying. That drying procedure will be carried out in some other area. So like that each and every unit operation must be carried out separately to avoid the cross contamination of the ingredients. And next one is ancillary area. Ancillary area means rest and refreshment rooms shall be separate with changing, storing clothes, facilities, washing and toilet purposes shall be easily accessible. Ancillary area means nothing but restrooms. So after the work, the people used to take some rest. Rest means just for changing of clothes or using of the toilets, like that. Some special separate rooms will be provided in within the laboratory itself. We have to provide, that is comes under ancillary area. And next one, quality control area. Lab independent of production area with separate and adequate space for each type of testing. Already I said to you that quality control area means before starting the production, all the ingredients must be checked for its quality and purity. After that checking quality and purity, then only those ingredients can be taken for the manufacturing. So for conducting the test individually to all the ingredients, adequate space must be provided. That is nothing but quality control area. Next, finally, that is manufacturing operation. All operations shall be carried out under supervision of technical staff approved by licensing authority. We know that any activity which is involving the pharmaceuticals, for example, manufacturing of the drugs and cosmetics, or sale of the drugs and cosmetics, or import, export, anything where we are dealing with the pharmaceuticals, the activity must be done under the supervision of the licensed person. So the person should have some technical knowledge and experience, and also educational knowledge, some qualification must be there. Without qualification and knowledge only, he should get a license from the licensing authority. After that, the person is able to do all the activities. So in the manufacturing area, whatever the procedures they are carrying out, all the procedures should be carried out under the presence of the technical staff only. And last one, documentation and record. So I said to you that number of operations together only we can prepare a particular dosage form. So what we are doing in the manufacturing area, for example, if you procure some ingredients from other area or other manufacturing area, so when you are procuring the ingredients, the procurement order, from which lab you are purchasing the chemicals, how much quantity you are purchasing, the date of purchase, everything must be documented. In the same way, those procured materials will be stored in the warehouse. That is the first one, where the area we use to keep the ingredients before the manufacturing. So after that, from that warehouse area, when you want, we can collect some of the ingredients from the manufacturing area and we are taking for the manufacturing process. So how much quantities of the drugs you are taking from the warehousing area, what are the materials you have got from the warehouse, how much quantities you are taking from the warehouse, that one must be documented. Everything. Finally, after the manufacturing, the finished products will be stored in the finished goods store. So that finished goods store must be separately arranged apart from the manufacturing area. So those finished goods also we should document it. In a particular day, different batches will carrying out the manufacturing procedure. So how many batches they are carrying out the procedure, and what is the yield of that particular day of manufacturing, like that every details must be documented. Finally, those documents will be kept in the manufacturing area or with the manufacturer only, at least for a period of 5 years in the lab. So this is the schedule M we are discussing now. After that, some other schedules are there. Those schedules we will discuss in the next class.